Welcome to the Zentangle Project Pack series. This is the first Apprentice Project Pack. Zentangle Apprentice is part of the Zentangle family that focuses on designing products and lessons catered to a younger audience. However, we believe that we all have a child inside us, which makes all of these videos great for just about anybody. We'll be working with the materials found in our Project Pack envelopes, and Project Packs are available from some certified Zentangle teachers and from Zentangle.com. If you don't have a Project Pack, we always encourage folks to follow along with these lessons with whatever materials you might have at home. So I am being joined today by Charley and Abby, and they are volunteering to work with us today on this project tile. And their mom works at Zentangle, so we can see them all the time, and they're great tanglers. So without further ado, we're going to start. On this particular tile, I chose a round Zentangle white, and I personally am going to be working with the black pen, just in black on white. But Charley and Abby have chosen each two colors. So Abby has a pink and like a yellow color she's working with. And then Charley is working with a blue and a green. So we're going to see how these Zentangle tiles will look with black and white, yellow and pink, and blue and green. And that's kind of a cool thing. And so let's get going. We're not going to start with a string so much on this particular tile. This is going to start right away with a pen. We're going to go to the center, or sort of the center. I'm not really fond of things being really even all the time. So I'm going to make sort of a wiggly circle in the middle, not actually in the middle. And I'm going to make a dot, not actually in the middle, but almost in the middle. And we're going to do a series of stripes that go from the dot to this line all the way around. And so take your time and think about these lines. Concentrate on making the most beautiful line that you could ever imagine. We're going to start on the dot and go to the circle. And then on this line, I'm going to start in the middle and make the line just a little bit thicker. I don't know if you can see that. And then color that in so that it makes it a little darker. Okay, we're going to start on the dot and go pretty close and make another line that's an aura of that line that's there. And again, go sort of in the middle and then kind of flare off or just escape a little bit and go there and color that in. And this is what we're going to do for the whole middle. And it sounds like a lot of work, but it's a wonderful, wonderful exercise in just doing something because it feels good. So you can see that every time, or almost every time that I go to draw this line, I'm turning my tile just a little bit because what I want my hand to be pretty much in the same place all the time. So I'm a right-hander and I'm going this way. But if I were a left-hander, I would be going this way so that I could see exactly what I'm doing. So I'm a right-hander. Here we go. Dot, and then aura, that line. We learned aura in one of the videos that came before this. But again, an aura is a line that mimics the shape that's right next to it. Aura, and then put that like a weight or a, girls, what would you call that? How would you describe it?
Like a shadow?
Yeah, well, it is sort of like a shadow. I like that.
Yeah, it kind of creates depth in the
Yeah.
center.
well, what's going to happen is this is going to be just spectacular when it's done. And by making just these beautiful, simple lines, but making a lot of them. See, that's the key, is to just keep going and going all the way around. And you can see I'm actually going pretty slow. And if the lines are a little bit wiggly, don't worry about that, because that means all your lines will be a little bit wiggly, and that it'll be part of the pattern or the tangle. This tangle is called pepper, like in peppermint. If you remember seeing those hard candies in the little cellophane, what do they look like? Like little tambourines, little, they're flat, like little dishes, but they're white, and they have these bright red stripes that go around the edges, and that was my inspiration for naming this tangle. So you can see what's happening here. The line is becoming just kind of a little bit weird, right? How are your lines going? Oh, cool. Yep. But you can see that mine took another direction, and what I'm doing is I'm following the aura, and every time that the aura goes around, it's making a different shape. And all of yours will be different, and you can't predict how it's going to turn out. So just follow what's going on your tile, and we can compare notes and see how beautiful everybody's is. So I'm still having my hand in the same spot. Taking my time. So now my line doesn't look anything like that first line I put down over here. See that? And we're just going to keep going in spite of that other line and see where it takes us. So keep going. Just follow the little rule of that aura. And the whole point of Zentangle, taking a class even, is to have something that looks unique. You don't need it to look like your teachers or even the person sitting next to you if you have somebody there. The whole thing is just to get you to make lines and to make drawings, not to have you make things that look like the teachers. So this is kind of cool. Check this out, right?
Oh,
See,
cool.
so it went in another direction, which is really great. I love that. So now we have a kind of an interesting middle with the tangle called pepper. And we're going to continue in a little bit of a different direction than usual tiles, in that some of these things that I'm going to do don't really have a name per se, but the action and the drawing is so simple that I think that you'll understand it. Let's see what we got here. So this one's Abby's here with the pink, and there it's the blue. And you can see how different each one of those is already. This is going to be so cool. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw an aura around this whole interesting shape. I'm not sure what to call it. It looks like a blob of some sort, like somebody dropped a bunch of, I don't know what, something. So I'm going to follow along, and I kind of like this shape, so we're going to go along and see where this takes us. There we go. That makes things a little bit interesting. Now I'm going to do another aura, but I'm going to put more space in between. So this one was pretty up close to the drawing before it, but this one here is going to be a little bit more. It's going to give us more room to tangle inside here. So pay attention and turn your tile like I'm doing right here, and give your line some character, meaning, have it be a little bit wonky. and it makes it so interesting. People will wonder, well, how did you know how to do that line? How did you know that? Well, the lines tell you, the previous lines. Okay. So I'm going to radiate little boxes within here from one line to the other. And we're going to create almost like a checkerboard kind of thing all the way around. And you can see how big the lines are. You can see compared to my pen. See it? It's about that width. But it doesn't have to be exactly, and they don't have to be all exactly the same. We're going to fill them up. One of the things I like about Zentangle is that you could know only 5 tangles in your life, and you could do something different with it every day just by where you put it and how you stop and go. It's just a really neat thing. You don't have to know 1,000 tangles. You only just have to know whatever you want. So in that case, we're going to try a tangle called Crescent Moon that you've already learned, but we're going to do it a little bit differently. We're going to put that ladybug shape on each one of these lines. I'm going to have mine facing my right hand this way, and then fill it in. And turn my tile, and I'm going to do that on each one of the boxes. Taking my time, thinking about this beautiful pen that you get to use, thinking about the paper, how lucky we are, how grateful we are. I often talk about the fact that even just 200 years ago, only kings would have the kind of pens that we're working with in the paper. Well, only people, very wealthy people, would have access to it. How lucky we are. We don't realize how lucky we are to be living at this time where we have anything we want just waiting there for us. You can go down to the local store and pick up something and have it, and you can carry it around with you. Things that they had back then were really involved, like bottles of ink and pens you had to clean, and you couldn't carry them in your pocket. So now, let's see what you guys got. Ooh, this is kind of cool. This is going to be so awesome. Awesome. Love this. Okay. I can't wait to see what all of you out there are going to do. So if you remember in Crescent Moon, the first thing we do after we do that ladybug shape is we're going to do an aura around the ladybug. And we're going to do that all around, turning our tile. Again, my hand almost doesn't move from that one space right there because it's easier for my hand to make this shape in this position than if I was trying to do it like this. That wouldn't be good. I wouldn't get a very good line. But this is just a very comfortable place to be. And you can see as we're going around, I kind of touch up my little ladybugs. If they don't look exactly the way I want them to, I can go in and, make them a little bit different shape, make it a little bigger. Doesn't matter, you can do that. And don't worry, if it's taking you a little bit longer than it takes me, you can always stop your camera. How do you just put on pause?
Yeah, you can just pause the video.
Right, you can press the video, put it on pause, and go all the way around and then get it started again. So don't worry about that. You don't have to be going as fast or as slow as anybody here. You have your own pace. Your drawing is different than anybody else's because right from the start, everything was different. Your wonky circle in the middle was different, and each aura will be different. Okay, so the next step is we're going to do another aura. If you have room, some of your little boxes here might be smaller than others, but it doesn't matter. So if you have room for another aura, We're going to go all the way around again. And I want you all to realize that this is not, it's not a race. It's not a contest. It's drawing just for the wonderful feeling of drawing. And so take your time, appreciate every aspect of what you're doing. So if you have room to put another set of auras, feel free. I'm going to put one more set, I think. But if you don't worry about it. Again, your drawing is different. So I have been an artist all my life, like since I was 5. I even sold my work when I was 5 years old. All I wanted to do was ever be an artist. And still, every time I pick up a piece of paper and a pen, the whole idea of creating something new is always so exciting to me. It never goes away. For me, it always is the most wonderful feeling ever. You can see Charley's going this direction. How cool. How cool. Now Abby's here. She's working with a very light fluorescent yellow. And so this is giving it a whole different look just by working with like a light color, dark color. But I love that the idea that it forces you to have something that doesn't look like anything else. It's kind of cool.
Looks like, I can't really see the yellow, so it looks
Yeah.
like the pinkish by itself.
It's cool. I think that what's going to happen is when you put it all together afterwards and we put shading and stuff, we're going to see things. Okay, so surprise, we're going to do another aura right close up. And this is going to be how we're going to go through this whole tile. And appreciate this wonky line, this wiggly kind of amazing line that is coming to you almost just from out of nowhere. And so we're just going to work with that wonderfulness. Okay, so the next, we're going to add another aura, but a wider aura. So give yourself some space. We're going to put something else in here. I love the shapes I'm getting here. This is very exciting. We're going to do a simple tangle in here. And it has different names in different places, different, when you do it in stripes, it's this, and if you're doing it that. I think when we were doing it in stripes, we called it perk, and I'll show you what that looks like. Another P word, P-U-R-K. I'm going to put a circle or an orb shape, a round shape, and it doesn't have to be perfectly round, it just has to be beautiful. So I'm going to really push it in there and make it look like it's stuck in there, that it couldn't possibly fall out. It's almost behind that line. And so we want that it's like a pearl shape. We want it to be really stuck in there and touching the line on the top and the bottom. And we're going to do that over and over. But on this side, the next bead or pearl, whatever you want to call it, it's going to be going a little bit behind the first one, like it's stuck in there. And again, I'm going to, in a hollow ball way, I'm going to put that round shape so it has a little bit of it tucked in there. And this will give it a more three-dimensional look. Don't forget to turn your tile so that your hand is in the same space. Having it all perfect and like with a compass and things like that isn't as interesting as like a natural shape that seems to have grown all by itself.
I feel like that's what makes everyone's like unique and special.
I know. These sort of look like freshwater pearls, you know, those ones that they're like a sort of a gray color, right? You know,
Yeah.
that's so beautiful. I love that as opposed to the perfect ones that you know that have they almost like a you gotta wonder, you know, why did this one go this shape and that and what happened and
Gives them character.
so when you're done that, I'm inviting you to go in and fill in these little spaces behind them if you have that in your tile, and it'll make these pop out a little bit. So just take your time. I think this is getting interesting looking without it being too difficult, right? Let's see, Charlie. Ooh. It's really cool. If you, when you're at home, if you can hold it out as far as you can, like an artist, and hold it out at arm's length, look at it, move it around, see how your art is growing. That's what artists do. You step back from your paintings or you step back from your drawings, look at it with new eyes at a different focus. It's a really good exercise. Ah, look at that. Didn't see the glowing. It's really, this is really glowing. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Look at that. Wow. Wow, I'm impressed. This is really cool. Okay. Okay, so let's do another aura. Every time you do this aura thing, you're practicing pen control. And it's like practicing the piano or practicing guitar or running laps. It's a practice. And we call Zentangle a practice because you do it over and over. And each time you do it, you learn something new about yourself, about your art, about your patience, all kinds of things. All right, we're going to put another line around, another aura. And you can see mine gets a little bit skinnier in some places and a little bit fatter in other places. And I really like that look. As long as it meets at the end here, this is the magic spot right here. So we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to do sort of a zigzaggy thing around here. And I'm going to start on the smaller circle, and I'm going to create a series of zigzag or like a V shape going from top to bottom. I call this like a Charlie Brown t-shirt kind of thing. Take your time, no race. You can always put your computer on pause. So this one here, this last one I'm going to put in is going to be smaller, but that's okay. So now you have these wonky, beautiful triangles all the way around. The next step, we're going to put a dot. It doesn't have to be a big dot, just a small dot, sort of in the middle of each triangle. So concentrate on finding the visual middle. Well, you can choose. You can watch what I'm going to do, and you can choose whether you want to continue on this or leave it the way it is. How's that? Is that okay? We're going to go from each corner of the triangle to the dot. So find the corner and then get to the dot. Corner to the dot. Corner to the dot. Corner to the dot. So you can see what's happening is that it's going to just make it a little more three-dimensional, and it has this wonderful pattern that's going to appear here. And it's just a matter of following the steps, simple steps, corner to dot. Zentangle's an interesting thing because, you know, that we have these unbelievable tangles that we teach everyone. but they've existed for thousands of years. Some of them were on the walls in caves and or in the Middle Ages, or patterns have been around forever and ever, in books and fabrics and walls and architecture. And what's going to happen once you start to tangle on a regular basis, you're going to start seeing patterns everywhere, everywhere. Things you never thought of looking at, all of a sudden will catch your eye and say, "Ooh, I can tangle that. I can do something with that." I like the idea that Zentangle sort of forces a quiet on us, that, there's always stuff going on, people yelling, or TVs or radios and computers, but Zentangle is quiet. You can enjoy the quiet. Oh, I love that you did your lines in 2 different colors. How cool is that? These are so cool.
So it looks like origami.
Yes, yeah. Also, now this one looks even more like origami, right? That you took just a long strip of paper and then just folded it, and
the yellow is kind of hidden.
Yeah.
In the back.
All right, I think we're going to do one more trip around, and then we're going to call it finished, I think. So let's do an aura. Admiring your work as you're going along, which is really kind of fun. Just say, wow, I'm really good at this. This is so cool. One more stripe around. So I think we're going to do some spirals. When I do my spirals, I like to do them counterclockwise, meaning that it goes in the opposite direction of a clock. But all that I want from you is that, and I think that they're going the same way each time. So if you do a spiral, I do my spirals this way, which is counterclockwise. And I'm going to just kind of tuck it in and go a little bit behind. See how it's going behind the lines? And we're going to do a series of those all the way around. And also, if my spiral starts close by, it will go behind in a hollow bar fashion over here, behind, and then kind of sneak it in there. These spirals are fun.
Yeah. Kind of like suck you in.
I know. They do, and they're sort of like joyful, like happy, How cool that we can do this with people all over the world. If there's kids all over the world that will be taking this class together.
To make that connection with people everywhere.
I know. And I think that Zentangle is so simple that even somebody who doesn't speak English could follow along by just watching. So each of these stripes, of course, takes a little longer each time because they get bigger. Look at these. They're coming along. So cool. Wow. Very nice. Okay, so I'm going to put the cap on my pen. Make sure you put the cap on. And I'm going to pick up my handy dandy little Zentangle pencil. And we're going to start in the middle because I want to make sure that all your inks are dry, and the colored inks take a little bit longer. So let's start in the middle. And with the pencil, I'm going to add some pencil graphite just around the edge. inside that pepper. Pretty dark. I'm adding quite a bit of darkness there, and don't be afraid, because we're going to soften it and pull it in a little bit. And then I'm going to pick up this thing here. We call a tortillon, but you could call it a paper stump or a smudger or for a shading stump. It's just a rolled up piece of paper, and we're going to use it to kind of pull the graphite pencil and smear it in there. And you've got to be careful not to go all the way to the middle. You want to keep it on the edge, because you want to have shade and light. So you have to have the light in the middle in order to have shade on the edges. And this is going to add life or really excitement to your tangles. You can already see how it's jumping off the page just from adding a little bit of shading. Wow, that is so cool.
It really adds like another level.
Right, huh? Look at, you can see this one coming right off the paper. Ah, these are just, it's amazing, right? Just by adding a little bit of shading. I think I'm going to add a little bit of graphite where that ladybug shape is on every one. Just like a sort of a shade of, a stripe of pencil there. Taking your time, turning your tile. And again, you're going to, when you've gone all the way around, pick up this tortillon and soften that, not all the way, just so that you can keep the white and the dark, and you have contrast. And Abby's and Charley's, you can see where she put the pencil here, and it had a feeling like it's going in and out. How fun. Look at that. These are like dancing tangles. I love it. I love it. We're going to take our pencil and we're going to create like a smiley face, only but it's going to be on its side, like in pencil on each one of those circular shapes. And it's going to be over to the side, like a little smile. So we're turning our tile even when we're shading. Isn't it so cool? And with the tortillon, I'm going to go around in a circle like this and leave the middle white, and then just kind of pull that so it goes away around. You can see what, refocus your eyes and see how that's making it that pearl shape with that freshwater pearl look. Leaving the white in the middle if you can. How easy it is to add shading when you're just doing the same thing over and over and over, right? I love that they're so different. That's what makes me smile, is that they're all so different. Look at that. On each triangle, the original zigzag, I'm going to do it random. A little bit here, a little bit there. That's what I'm going to do. Every maybe fourth one, or random is good. We don't do enough of random, right? Random means yeah. And then go back with your tortillon, and then kind of work it into the paper. I kind of like the random. I never did random before. This is fun. Oh, look at these. These are just wonderful. So Abby added shading on the top and the bottom of the original lines, right? Is that what you said? So it kind of brought it out as a stripe. So that kind of has a nice feeling to it. And Charley wanted the points to get the light. And so she drew around each one of those little pyramid shapes. That's cool. And then we got, this is the random.
Well, that looks neat too. Is it like that crinkled paper?
Yeah, yeah. More origami, less,
Yes.
Cool stuff. Okay, so we got one more section to shade, which is the spirals. How about we add graphite in the middle of each one, and then we'll see what happens there. So a little bit of graphite in the middle. This is a little more hypnotic, I think. And then with the tortillon, we're going to doing just the opposite of those pearls. We're gonna fill the middle and leave the edges white. So I just go around. Oh, that's kind of cool. I like it. Well, I'm loving this tile. It's just really a fun group of stripes and tangles and movement. These are so great. I'm loving this, loving it. Okay, I think we're ready to sign our work, right? And if you all have a chop, or you're going to take your pen, maybe your micron, or one of the colors you were working with, and add your initials, or one initial, or a symbol that mean. I usually tuck an M in here behind things. I like my my chops and my initials to disappear behind things. And I'm going to sign my name on the back. And I'm going to date it. I think what's today? The 16th? 17th? January. Wow, 2021. Let's put these together. I'm so excited. This is great. These are just beautiful, beautiful. Well, Charley and Abby, thank you so much for joining us, and hope you come back again sometime and we can do this again.
Thank you.
This is so awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. See you later.